Good morning. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Angela Maddalone, and I am the new Director of Chaplaincy here at Northern Westchester Hospital. Thank you all for coming to our service of remembrance. We have all been through a lot together, and I hope that this brings some peace of mind and recognition to all we have been through. You know, the question that I have been asked most as chaplain throughout this pandemic is why? Why all the suffering? Why all the death? Why my wife, husband, child, mother, father, friend? I listened and let the questions linger. I had no answers. No platitudes would do. After a pause, I suggested, are there other questions we can ask? Because in my experience, the why questions do not get answered. There is silence. Out of necessity, our amazing staff created new questions. How can I help the person I am caring for die with dignity? How can I ease the suffering of the one in my care? How can I bring their families to them when they cannot be present? They asked the questions and answered them. They answered them by showing up and being present. They answered them by using technology to bring their families to them. They answered them by holding their hands and quietly speaking words of comfort as they were dying. You are not alone. We are here to remember those whose lives connected with ours, if only briefly, yet changed us, moved us, made us laugh, made us cry, made us closer to one another, made us more compassionate, kinder, more loving, more appreciative of the ordinary gifts in our lives. This is their legacy to us. And for this, we are grateful to have known them and cared for them. Thank you again for coming. Kiva Young-Wright will talk to us for a few minutes.
Thank you, Angela. Good morning, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here with you, and particularly in this special place. So, for those of you who weren't here when we dedicated this garden, this is the Janet Fields Memorial Garden, and her family gifted this garden to you, to all of us, for this very reason in a strange way, and I'll explain. They knew that your job is incredibly hard, that it takes a toll on you physically, mentally, emotionally. And so they, having seen that from personal experience, they wanted you to have a place where a beautiful place, where you could have a moment to reflect and to ponder and to have respite. And so here we are. The other reason they did this is because in some traditions and in my own spiritual journey, we believe that as long as you remember those who are lost, as long as someone somewhere is saying their name, they never really leave us. And they wanted Janet to be remembered. They wanted her life to matter. Similarly, we are here because those we lost in COVID-19, family, friends, neighbors, and patients mattered. And so by being here and saying their names and remembering them and thinking of them and thinking of the little piece of us that they took with them, they matter. And so when Roxana asked, she asked that a member of the senior team speak at each one of these events. For me, on behalf of our team, we want to let you know that we understand that remembering these people, it's not just about the people we lost, but it's about the people who lost them. It's also about you. And we understand it. We understand that little pieces of you were given to all of these patients, and we understand that it will take time for you to build that back. And that we will be here, not just in these ceremonies, but in the weeks and months and years. For some people, it will take years while you build yourself back for the pieces that you gave to all of those people who were lost. So thank you. Thank you, Reverend Angela, for all you've done to help us. And I'm very happy to be here with you today.
Thank you, Kiva. As there were many losses, Ann Winkler, the nurse manager in the ICU, really wanted to send some kind of note from the nurses and the staff of the ICU, and so she wrote this wonderful poem that she sent to the families of those who died. And so Roxana is going to share that with you.
This is a poem from Ann Winkler. We share in your sorrow at this most difficult time, the loss of someone who filled your life with love and sunshine. While you may not have been there to physically hold their hand and say goodbye, please know they were not alone. We were there by their side, a dedicated team who battled through daily challenges and strife. We know the important role this individual played in your life. A daily phone call, Zoom, or FaceTime connection, we hope bridge the gap created by the COVID-19 virus and its infection. Take comfort that they were cared for with dignity and compassion, a gentle touch, kind words, and health providers with unwavering passion. As you pick up the pieces and move on from this day, let their strength and conviction pave your way. Our deepest love and sympathy for a human being that was one of a kind. May their memory be a blessing that lives on in your heart and mind. Ann Winkler.
Thanks, Roxana. At this time, we will be reading the names of those we lost to COVID-19. And following the reading of the names, I'm going to ring a chime as just a moment of silence. And then there'll be an opportunity to say other names that people that would like to share. Where you hear initials, it's because of patient privacy. From ICU, G.V., Rose R., Frank R., Richard C., Mary R., Stacy J., Rosemary M., E. O., Carlton M., Tyrone B.
From the ICU, Benedict K., Marion L., Juan A., Joseph S., Rebecca M., C. T., Frank M., Jesus P., Eli N., and L. Y.
From the ICU, V.P., Ronald L., Victor T., Joseph F., Gregory P., Nancy A., Judith S., Lillian P.
From the 7th floor, EB. From the 6th floor, Lawrence B., Rudolph G., Andrew O., Frank A., Jamil B., Thelma C., MM, Jose M., Clement O.
From the 6th floor, N.A., Alfred D., M.S., Antonio O., Lorraine B., Louis C., Agnes F., I.S., Frank S., and Charlotte S.
From the 6th floor, James K., Henry H.C. W., William J., Paul A., Nathan K., Betty Ann L., Paula B., Anthony F., Catherine G., Ronald Z.
From the 6th floor continued, Eileen W., Martin R., Mary P., Christopher S., Alexander S. From the 4th floor, Henry K., Mildred Y., Anna B., Peter S., and Stella A.
If there are any other names that you would like to lift up at this time, please feel free to do that. Peter B., and Rosa T. At this time, if there is anyone that would like to share any of their experiences, you are welcome to do so. Jessica Bliss, one of the ICU nurses, wrote a beautiful poem as she was reflecting on her experience. And so Asha is going to read that for us.
What awaits me as I walk through those doors today? Well, before I enter, I'd like to say a prayer, if I may. As I'm greeted by tangled wires and noisy alarms, I just long to hold you in my arms. Strangers you are, but family you are to me. as I belong here to help set you free. I set you free from feeling alone and afraid, a plan we thought God could never have made. Your life in limbo, your dreams hanging in the balance. I just know I'm up to this very challenge. I'll titrate every drug, I'll bathe you after every fever. I can't let death come close, nor threaten us either. I will fight my best fight, I will cry my hardest tears, because losing you is one of my biggest fears. Your hand I hold so gently in mine as exhaustion consumes us and we're running out of time. I feel so close to you as we share this vulnerable moment, maybe a gift that was heaven sent. You're not alone, and neither am I. We are here to help each other fly. A nurse's calling so bittersweet. It is here you and God will meet. Strangers you are, but family you are to me, for you taught me love in its entirety. May God bless you and your loved ones as you have blessed me, with meaning and purpose. For this I love thee. Forgotten you will never be.
And this is a reflection from Dr. Jade Gallardo, who was working in the ICU. She begins with a quote from The Lord of the Rings. How do you pick up the threads of an old life? How do you go on when in your heart you begin to understand there is no going back? There are some things that cannot mend by time, some hurts that go too deep, that have taken hold. When we turn to the news, radio, or social media, one topic dominates: COVID-19, lives lost, economic collapse, and disruption of all things social, in life, and in death. Every day that we work, we fill out death certificates that eventually get counted into the day's statistics. Yet those numbers had faces. We looked into those eyes before they turned empty. We held those hands when they were still warm. We learned from their loved ones about who they were before they became our patients. Regardless of race, educational and professional achievements, or social status, life leaves behind a body aged 24 to 89. We let our tears gather but not fall until we are alone. We briefly pause in silent prayer before and after citing time of death to honor the life that was. We come to work because this is what we trained for. We care because it is who we are. We support and help each other. Together we share courage and determination. The human spirit is defiant. We may not get through this unscathed, but we will be stronger with a better appreciation of the ordinary. We hope and cling to faith. Otherwise, we would crumble. Dr. Jade Gallardo.
We want to thank you for coming here together as a team, as colleagues and friends, to help start this journey of healing from everything that we encountered during the COVID-19 pandemic. We thank you, especially as a non-clinician. We can't imagine how it felt to be there day in and day out, but we really want to take a moment to say thank you and appreciate you for everything you've done, whatever your role may be. You made a difference to those patients, you made a difference to each other, and as we continue to heal, just know that we are here for each other and here to support each other. We're going to be closing off the service with a blessing. And then what we'll do is everyone should have a remembrance stone in their hand. We'd like you to place the stone by the tree over there. And before you leave, we do have another stone for you to take. The stone for you to keep is in the shape of a heart and is really a token of hope. So when you have difficult moments, whether it be at work or in your personal life, just hold on to that and know that we are here together. So if we could all stand for the blessing.
This blessing of hope comes from artist and poet Jane Richardson from her wonderful book, The Cure for Sorrow. So may we know the hope that is not just for someday, but for this day, here, now, in this moment that opens to us. Hope not made of wishes, but of substance. Hope made of sinew and muscle and bone. Hope that has breath and a beating heart. Hope that will not keep quiet and be polite. Hope that knows how to holler when it is called for. Hope that knows how to sing when there seems little cause. Hope that raises us from the dead, not someday, but this day, every day, again and again and again and again. May it be so.